Here is everything that Ford Motor Company changed on the new 2025 Super Duty. This video is going to cover everything on the F-250 all the way up through the F-450 pickup truck. And if you want to see details on the cab and chassis trucks, let me know by smashing that like button. First up, let's talk about the trim levels that are available to you. For 25, you have the XL, XLT, Lariat, King Ranch, and the Platinum. But for 2025, did you know they deleted the limited trim level? And now they're giving you a higher version of the Platinum called the Platinum Plus. We'll get into that a little bit later. But a couple of other changes that they made on this new truck is they've made some changes on the cab configurations and what you have available and what you can and cannot get. For instance, they have deleted the Super Cab and a 148-inch wheelbase. The Lariat and also the F350 and 450 dualies. Basically what I'm saying is that on a lot of these vehicles, you're going to be forced to go into a Super Crew, which is not that big of a deal. Most people either want to go with a regular cab or they want to go with a 4 full doors, so not a big deal there. The next small change that Ford Motor Company made is the tow hooks. Sounds kind of silly, right? But in the past, they were all going to be chrome, and now they're all going to be black. This is my opinion, not Ford's. I think they're trying to cater to more of the customers that are buying in today's world. Basically, they're catering to the younger person who doesn't like chrome. Well, I guess I'm not in the younger person part of it, but I like the blacked out everything. And so it's just neat to see that Ford is actually paying attention to who their customer base is. And speaking of changes with colorations and things like that, you do have a few new colors for 2025. For instance, Avalanche is now here for 2025 models. In addition to that, they're also bringing back an older school color called Ruby Red. But to get that, they're deleting two colors, Iconic Silver and Rapid Red. Rapid Red and Ruby Red are very similar, but they are different. As far as interior colors concerned, on the Platinum, you've now got a smoked truffle interior color. I don't know if that's supposed to make you feel fancy by saying a truffle, a smoked truffle. It's stupid, I know, but it looks good. That's all that matters, right? And also, did you know that for 2025, the Lariats no longer come with leather seats? Can you believe they got rid of leather seats in a Lariat? By the way, this is the same trend you're finding on the F-150s, and what they're doing is they're replacing it with a seating material called Active X. I'm on this YouTube channel quite a lot saying that I do like Active X, and I've seen the comments. Some of you guys say it doesn't breathe like leather, it doesn't this like leather, and yeah, it's not 100% leather because it's a vegan alternative leather, but it really is nice, and I don't have a concern with it at all. I know some of you do. If you do, the good news is you can always step up to the Platinums. The next change that Ford Motor Company made is kind of like, what? I don't understand why they did this, but it's actually not that big of a deal to me because screw the people in the back seat. They deleted the second row ambient lighting. So if you don't know, ambient lighting is the lights that light up the floorboard and makes it just kind of gives you that mood. And really, who cares about the people behind you? So that's not that big of a deal. I'm just glad to know that you still have that ambient lighting in the front. A couple of other things is they've deleted the
He's having a stroke.
They've deleted the Admiral Blue light slate interior. They've also gotten rid of the Carmelo interior on the higher end trim levels as well as the power adjustable steering column is no longer available on the Lariat. That one kind of shocked me. So I'd like to see what it looks like. Maybe it's going to be the manually adjusting telescope. Microphone. Hopefully it's going to be still manually adjusting, but yeah, there you go. The next feature Ford is giving you for 25 is a cool one. This is going to be the Ford Security Package, and it includes a 1-year trial with activation. And this is going to be replacing the Advanced Security Package, and it works like this. You've got that Ford Pass app on your cell phone, and now you have the ability to retrieve the vehicle if it's stolen, or you have a lot of extra next level connectivity to the vehicle because of the Ford Pass. And this is really just another level of being able to track your vehicle down after the fact. I don't think they're picking this up on the Super Duty for 25, but I knew the 25 F-150 has a kill switch engaged. I love this button. So that way, if you know, hey, I'm on my Ford Pass app, you can kill the vehicle to where even if you have the key, you can't start the vehicle, which is a really nice thing. So that way, if you live in a high crime area, you don't have to worry about that. Once again, I don't think that's going to be included in this version for the Super Duty, but it is neat to know that Ford is rapidly coming out with some of these technologies. Speaking of technologies, let's talk about the Power Onboard. If you don't know, this is that ability to get extra power to plug up, your refrigerator at the house, or to power your work site, or whatever it is. Now that is going to be optional on the King Ranch and the Platinum. So just kind of keep that in mind. And you got a bunch of smaller changes, like the auxiliary camera and the tire pressure monitoring system is now going to be considered a dealer installed option. Speaking of dealer installed option, Ford has removed the security code keyless entry system on the Super Duty too. I made a video that absolutely roasted Ford for this exact same thing on the F-150, because the security keyless entry code, where you type in a number and it unlocks the vehicle, that is one of the key features that makes a Ford for the longest time. Now, thankfully, it is going to be available as a dealer installed option, but to correct one of my previous videos, I thought you were replacing the A-pillar. It looks like it, based on building prices, that this is going to be a stick-on key fob, glorified key fob on the paint of your vehicle. And then I don't know what happens when the battery dies. Do you have to buy another one? Can you replace the battery in it? It's not hardwired, so it's just something you need to know about. Another couple of really cool features that I think Ford kind of messed up on removing, and maybe this is a supplier thing, maybe it's a supplier issue, or maybe they just, the take rate wasn't that high, but the tailgate down camera system, meaning that let's say you've got a fifth wheel or a gooseneck and you need to drop the tailgate, back the vehicle to that trailer. Even when the tailgate was down, there was a camera on top of that tailgate that allowed you to see what was behind you. And it even had parking sensors built into the top of that tailgate. Maybe people were damaging that because they were putting plywood on top of the tailgate. I don't know why, but it's gone for $25. But it's not all negative news, because Ford did give us a new black appearance package for 2025 model years, and that's going to be replacing the sport appearance package, where you have everything color keyed. Now it's going to be kind of black, so it's, I love black accented vehicles. I know not everybody does, but that's me. And as promised, let's talk about the Platinum Plus package. This is going to be replacing the limited trim level, and the idea behind this is Ford is trying to find ways to make it easier to build these higher-end trucks. And they've done this on the F-150. They've gotten rid of the limited there too. And what they're doing is they're giving you a whole nother level of options on top of the Platinum that makes it, in my opinion, the equivalent of a limited. In fact, one of those features is going to be the max recline seats, that way you can take a nap at the job site. Problem is how many people that are driving a $100,000 truck are going to be taking a nap at the job site. I digress. But it is nice that you have all of those extra features still available to you. Instead of being called limited, now it's a Platinum Plus. Now let's talk about pricing and what has happened between 24 and 25 model year. For the XL model, last year it was $44,970, and now they brought the price up just a few $100, $400 or so, to $45,300. For the XLT, they also had a small price increase of about $200 plus, $245 or $250, somewhere in that range. The Lariat went from $62,000 to $64,740, and so that's going to be one of the biggest changes in pricing, is going to be the Lariat, because the King Ranch and the Platinum, those prices as a starting price stayed the exact same. They didn't have a price increase at all, where the King Ranch was at $76,975 and the Platinum was at $77,865. Doesn't sound bad for a Platinum, but if you order a F450 Super Duty with every option, you're still going to be talking well over $110,000. And if you're interested in ordering a Super Duty at invoice pricing, you need to call our sister company, Town & Country Ford, because they're giving automatic invoice pricing on every retail order. Make sure you call that number right there on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the bell notification turned on so you don't miss a single video. Peace. Call us today, or, call us today. Give me